welcome to Crafternoons with Becki. It's a brand new series in which I show you how to paint some things on pottery. So it's going to be from different things like characters, ideas that we've come up with, just basics like spots, how to do stripes, and also some more interesting things like creating items that can fuse together to create ring dishes or little surprises at the bottom of mugs. And then some seasonal items during the festive season. So for today's project, we are going to be painting one of our heart trinket dishes with a little turtle. So we're going to be painting him on there, and then once it goes into our kiln, Betty, she will glaze the turtle and the trinket dish together, and what we can use it for is holding our rings. So yeah, I'm really excited to show you how we're going to be doing this one today. I think what I'm going to do with the little turtle guy is pop him on a probably on one of those lily pads with some lilies around it in the water. So I think that's going to look really cute, and then we'll have somewhere to put my rings. So let's get started. So first thing you want to do is decide where your turtle or whatever is going to go. So I just put a cross where I want them to be, and then I can design the pottery around that. So I always advise to draw on your design first using a felt tip pen rather than pencil. I say to use a felt tip pen because felt tip pens burn off perfectly in the kiln, you'll never see it, and they do not mark the pottery whatsoever. If you use a pencil, you can accidentally dent the pottery a little bit, and it can also, I've found anyway, it can kind of like repel the glaze. So my advice would be to use a felt tip pen because it's just better for the pottery and it will burn off. Another reason to use a felt tip pen is because they are water based. When you paint, you can still, once the paint's dry, the felt tip pen still kind of like bleeds through the paint, so you can still see your drawing through the paint once you've started painting. So yeah, that's another reason to use a felt tip pen. But here I am going around drawing all of the lilies as well as the lily pads. I'm going to be adding like those little water marks by the lily pads. But yeah, it's just a rough outline just so I know where things should go. I do notice at this point that the lily pad is a little bit small for my turtle, so I go around and I just make my central lily pad a little bit bigger. And that's the beauty of using the felt tips. You can make a mistake and then it doesn't matter because you haven't put paint onto the pottery yet, so you can just do whatever you like as it will burn off. So this is the design I'm going with. I have decided to go with a really kind of light kind of watercolour vibe for this. So I'm going to be using number 10, which is My Blue Heaven, and I will list all the paint colours below. But My Blue Heaven is a really light blue, so it's like a sky blue, but like if it was like a cloudy day. So I'm going to go now and paint all of the background. Because it is a light blue, I am painting over the majority of the felt tip pens and where the design is going to be, because with these light colour paints it doesn't matter too much if you paint over where you're going to have darker colours. It's only really if you have, for example, a very dark colour like a dark brown, a dark green, a dark blue, or a red, for example, you don't want to put that as a base coat to then have colour over the top, because that can then bleed through the other colours and you'll have kind of them meshing together and you won't see a fully dark, separated colour. So I'm just going on now to paint the lily pads themselves. I'm using 13, which is Sour Apple, because as I said, I wanted kind of like a light watercolour vibe, and this one's just a nice lighter green, not too dark. I just think it really works well with the blue that I've chosen. So I'm going to go ahead and paint all of these. Always try and use 3 coats unless you want a kind of pastel vibe with your pottery. For this one I'm really looking at deep colours, but in like a non-outlined watercolory way. So I will let you just chill for a bit watching this. Alright, so it's time to paint the lilies themselves. I'm going to be doing this in 2 different colours. Now I decided to do 16, which is Cashew later, for the lighter colour, and then I will be doing 6 Pinka Dot for the slightly darker colour. So it's going to be like a beigey pink lily, and I'm going to do that on all of the lilies. I've chosen to do it with the squeezy pen, just because I find that a lot easier when you're doing quite small pointed designs like this, as you don't then have to go back and do it 2 more times. It comes out in 3 coats basically because it's so thick when it comes out of the squeezy pen. So that would be my advice, but try not to do it if it is a really big area because it can be quite patchy. So once I've done that, I am going to be doing the turtle now. So the turtle, I am using dark green, which is 15. That one is called Just Froggy. So I'm going to use the dark green as the base colour for the shell, but obviously with turtles, they have multicoloured shells, so I want to kind of add a bit of dimension there. So to get the dimension I'm talking about, I am going to go back in with 14, which is green thumb, and basically just kind of splodge it on, with also a little bit of the 13 sour apple to add a bit of a green kind of dimension to the shell. So now his shell is done, I'm going back in with Cashew later, number 16, to do the body of the turtle. It's nice, like a nice beige colour, and later on I'm going to go back in with number 17, which is Crackerjack Brown, and that's just to add a little bit more dimension to the body, and I'm also going to add some to the shell, just to add, you know, they've always got a little bit of brown in their shell as well. Arguably one of the most important bits for me is adding a little face to this guy. So of course number 20, Tuxedo Black for the eyes. There is like an outline on this turtle where to put the eyes. So I've done 2 eyes and a smiley face. I nearly did a nose, but it was turning out to look a little bit too much Voldemort, so I took the nose off. But now I'm going back in to finish the lilies, now that the paint has dried. So basically the first layer of squeezy paint just was really wet, and my advice would be to leave that to dry, because with the squeezy paints, if you mix them too close together, so you've got 2 different colours squeezy painted out, they can bleed into each other. So if you want that effect, great, but I didn't, so I left that one to dry, did the turtle, and then I come back to finish the lilies. Okay, so last 2 important bits are the middle of the flower, which I've used number 3, Dandelion, and the white little sparkle in the turtle's eyes. I love doing this. You don't have to, but I just think it adds a little character to the little animals. So that's it done. I will show you properly everything in the next little bit. Okay, so we're done. We have painted this beautiful turtle on a lily pad. ring dish. So I'm really pleased with how it went. So we've got this little guy all painted with his little shell and his cute little eyes, and then he will be cemented almost onto this lily pad in the middle, and he will hold my rings. Welcome back. It has been just a few moments for you, but it's been just over a week for me, so I've been dying to see how this turned out, because it's quite a different paint for me, as obviously we're fusing two things together with glaze, which normally I'm trying to avoid two things fusing together in the kiln, so this is quite exciting. When I opened the door, I was so pleased to see that the turtle had stayed exactly where I wanted it to, so the experiment has worked. And yeah, wow, let's show you how it went. So I've already put some rings on there, but yeah, this is the turtle. This is him in his full glory on his lily pad, perfect for holding some rings. Not too many, but I've got 3 on there at the moment, and he's holding them pretty well. As you can see, he's dead center on the lily pad, so he's looking really good. And this is a different kind of style of painting for me. Usually I border things a lot with the writers, so this is more like a watercolory kind of style. I really like it actually, it looks really good, and his little face is just adorable. But yeah, I am really chuffed with him. I think what I'll do now is probably do some more fused together items like this, perhaps a mug, so we've got a little surprise guy at the bottom of the mug. But yeah, really pleased. If you want to do something like this, I'm not entirely sure if your local pottery painting studio will do this, but this is something I'm going to start offering with PaintPott. So you can choose from the turtle, or we also have a little worm, and they will be the perfect size to hold rings. We also offer a lemon wedge, which is super cute, and a puffy, and they would be perfect for like at the bottom of a mug, because they're slightly too big to hold rings. But again, it doesn't matter if you're just doing a jewelry dish like this. You could put lemon in there and just have it as like a bracelet kind of dish or something like that. But yeah, I think it works really well. All of the details of what I've used to paint these are in the description below. And yes, if you like this video, please drop us a subscribe and follow along on our Instagram. Just if you're not local to Southampton, it doesn't matter, because we'll always show you inspiration on our Instagram, as well as you know, local bits and bobs. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. We will see you very soon. I'm not sure what we're painting next, so always a nice surprise. Keep tuned.